Well, good morning, all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? That is the question. That is the question. Checking to make sure that the video is coming in clear today. It appears that it is. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning. Good morning. So, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm checking all this stuff out. Now that I got these two computers, I can run things a little bit easier. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Yes. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe this channel. Do not keep me a secret. I work very hard to bring information to you, even though we haven't had a field trip in a while. I'm going nuts. I need a field trip. Our next field trip, it's going to be more of a leisurely trip. I'm going to head to Georgia here in a bit. But of course, with every other leisure trip, I will be bringing back some stuff. So this morning, we're going to be covering quite a bit. We're going to be going over. I know we've been covering Jose's interview for a couple days now. I've got a special guest that's coming on that actually went through the entire interview and jotted down, inconsistencies and information. And she's going to be coming on here around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is in about 55 minutes, to give us the breakdown. We're also going to have our dear friend Ronnie. Whenever she gets on, she's going to come here and give us a little more information about Graciela Garcia that we need to know. And I'm going to actually play a clip. I did get off my bum and put together one of the videos that I did out in Land O'Lakes. It was related to Chappie Franklin Banks. We covered that case. It's a 31-year-old cold case, and I'm not quite finished with the video yet, but I got it far enough along in the process that I think I can give you guys a sneak peek. So that will be published, I'm hoping, today. But the reason why I am fully dressed this morning is because I'm meeting my dear mother for lunch today. So you can tell it's kind of funny, I don't know how many people, thank you, that watch this channel that have older children, children that have moved out of the house. Many of you guys don't know my family dynamic. So I was the baby for many, many, many years. The baby of the family until I turned 18 years old. That is correct. And then another bundle of joy ended up being part of the family. So we're not going to get into that in the freaking out my mom must have been going through at the time. But she had 18 more years with children, in the house. And I think she's going through some major empty nesting syndrome at the moment because, of course she loves me and everything like that. Obviously she's my mother, but it's funny because now she'll call me and says, "Hey, what you up to?" "Working, mom. What's up?" "I don't know. Just wanted to talk." "Okay. How you doing, mom?" "Doing okay." You can always tell when she's a little melancholy, when she misses her babies. So I'm gonna go spend some time with her. Go shopping, go, have some lunch, and just make it a good day. And then I'm going to stop by my best friend's house. Haven't seen her in a little minute. Thank goodness for best friends, right? So she, I don't know how often she watches this channel, but when you have family and you're on YouTube and you're attacked as horrible as me, a lot of you tell a lot of your friends and family, just don't watch, just stay off. It's not worth it. But they still like to support me, so they always come on and watch. Good morning, good morning, good morning, all. So I don't know if anybody else has that experience. I don't know how many moms in here have empty nesting syndrome, but my mother is definitely. I even called it out yesterday, and I'm like, "Aw." I said, "Are you getting empty nester syndrome?" She's like, "I don't know what it is." "Okay, mom. Okay. I got you. I'll come hang out with you." So It's gonna be a mommy daughter day today. So, good morning. Good morning. I used to love NASCAR racing. I used to love NASCAR racing. I had a group of people that where we always went up to a very specific place. We had a great time. We'd sit there, have wings, and drink some beer and watch NASCAR. And they were in charge of getting the crowd riled up in the place that we were at. We gave away, gifts and items. And my one of my good friends, which ran this, passed away, and it just didn't feel the same anymore. So I have to be honest, I stopped watching NASCAR after he was older. He was an older guy, and but a very dear friend of mine, very close with his sons. And once he passed away, his name was Rock and Ron. And I just, things have never been the same since he's gone, and miss him dearly, and think of him often. Believe it or not, people go, and he's been gone for quite some time now. And it's funny how your real friends just never leave you, even after they go to the other side. So I'm sure my mom didn't. Actually, it's crazy because now I'm the closest child to my mom, right? Like my one sister lives, several hours away, and another sister lives, way, way far away. And now I'm just, the 30 minutes away person. So, and I'm happy to be that person. I love my mom. I love spending time with her. So it's just that my schedule so here and there. And people are probably wondering, why are we starting late? I'm kind of liking this 8 o'clock time right now. Like this time change has rocked my world. I just can't seem to get it together. I'm going to bed an hour later. I'm getting up, trying to get up an hour earlier. And I tell you, I set my alarm clock this morning for what was it? 5:40. 5:40. I don't know what I was thinking. I tried to go to bed last night, and I just couldn't get it together. So I didn't get up until I think it was like quarter after 6, you know, and I got to get, and as soon as I leave here, I'm heading to my mom's. So I had to get showered, dressed, makeup, the whole 9 yards, just dressed. I had to get dressed before I could come on because, again, once this goes down, I'm going to be with mom. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it happens. I just got to remember that it does happen. We love our family, even the family that we've adopted, ourselves. Like my friends, I always say, people always have that lingo, blood's thicker than water, and it's like, in some families it's not. Sometimes your family that you choose, it's got your back. I mean, I love my mother. Don't. I'm not. This is not a diss to my mama. By anywhere stretch of the imagination. But I have a huge family that I've adopted, and they are my friends. They are my besties. And, like even think about Olivia and her mom. We call her mom. They're family to me. And I haven't seen them. Like we're still trying to get together outside of her birthday. We're still trying to get together and hang out. And right now everything's so crazy because she's working, and she's exhausted when she gets off. Hopefully, her endeavor ends soon. I miss her. I hope her endeavor ends soon, and then we can start getting back to work. I really want. I got to tell you, I'm trying to keep up with the chat and talk at the same time, so please don't mind me. Yeah, and in some cases, it's just like that. Absolutely. He may have. I'm telling you, Don has talked so much. I mean, he has just about confessed with us. I mean, without saying he did something to Summer and put Summer here. To be honest with you, Don, when he was tatered up, he came really close on multiple occasions. I'm going to have to get some of those recordings out. I know I've got them further down. We've posted so many photos. I mean, of videos. I mean, I'm on here every day, just about. And so those older videos get further down. So I'll go back and try to find all of those, um, you know, videos that we have of our interviews with Don when he's talking. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he had something that came real close, but it seems like Don always came real close and then just didn't give it. But it's truthful. I mean, it's truthful. And does Ernie have it? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. So I also got a peculiar message from one of the fans in here, about me being somewhere yesterday morning around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm telling you, I didn't get. Anissa can tell you when I woke up because I chat with her as before I get online. So she actually pulled me out of bed yesterday because I was so exhausted. I didn't sleep well the night before at all. I didn't, and so it's just I didn't get up until I want to say, what was it, a quarter to 8 or something, Anissa? I'm not sure. And I also want to give kudos. I know a lot of people have reached out to me. Our mods are really, really, really good in here. Our mods are amazing mods. I have to tell you, we have some pretty good loyal mods in here. And I just want to give a shout out to Anissa. She really does do a lot for this channel. So, all the mods do a great job and are here to help. And I'm not discrediting any other mod. But even, some other mods have reached out to me and just really said, Anissa, you're really lucky to have her. And I have to say, I think I am. So I know I am, not I think. I know. So we just want to give a shout out to Anissa for, she's always keeping me in line along with my other ones, like I'm on the phone with Ronnie. I'm on the phone with Robin. I'm on the phone with Anissa, Patricia. And also, we have a request if you guys so choose while I'm on here. We do have, I think we have an opera. Does the mods have the option of doing the private chat? I'm not sure, but this is just if you guys would like to. Let's see here. And I want to give a shout out to Robin for trying to make me fat again. I will be going out to get my peppermint minty. What is it? What am I getting today? I am getting, the minty coffee. I'm getting a minty coffee today after we stop this chat, and I'm heading to my mom's. I'm going to stop at Starbucks. Thank you, Robin. You are the best. So, Ronnie and Karen, if you guys would like to find a way to get with Anissa and Robin, to exchange contact or whatever, please do so. She's got some things she'd like to discuss with you guys on a mod basis. So let's see here. Thank you. I'm going to see my mother. Got to look presentable for mom. And not only that, my mom is smoking hot at her age, and I shouldn't say that. I can't go there looking like a bum. Yeah, I heard that. I just haven't had an opportunity to confirm that. I know that this is a touchy situation, and I do have Allie's contact information to get a hold of her. And, it's easy to really get a hold of Andrew because he does the open panels and stuff like that. And I can talk to him, which is really nice. But it's like, they've been kind of bombarded. And I got to think that this is, pretty tough, as a parent to know that you've trusted somebody and just feel so violated. I mean, even if things didn't happen and Jose, I mean, we heard, I have to be honest with you. We heard from other people, not even associated with Allie or Jose. We heard from other people. This was back in December, and Allie can tell you herself. I actually asked her that question back in December. On camera, and of course we protected them. We never came out with that interview without disguising their faces, without disguising their voices. We were very respectful for them because we didn't want any more backlash coming to them. I didn't think that was fair for them. So, I just, my heart goes out to them because she was really unfairly treated when she tried to tell her story about Candace. She really was. And it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. And remember, she lived in those conditions too. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think but I just think she deserved she deserved the kind of treatment that Jose has gotten, to be honest with you, and she didn't. She got a raw deal. And shame on the YouTubers that put her through hell for that. And that wasn't fair, it wasn't right. And you know what? Before you start judging others, maybe you should look at yourself first, in my opinion. Okay, yeah. I don't know. She is my alarm clock. Even this morning, she's like, "Good morning," with little coffee mugs, and I'm like, "I'm up, I'm up, I'm almost ready, I'm almost ready, almost ready." Aw. Let's see what we got going on here. Yes, yes, yes. We just want to thank everybody, thank everybody, and oh yes, and thank you. Happy St. Patty's Day. I am wearing the wrong shirt. I need to go play this video for you guys so I can go change wardrobes. I do have you know what? You guys are going to have to wait. I'm going to go get it. All right. Sorry about that. All right. There it is. The official Bullhorn Betty. I forgot about this. It was funny because I was looking for stuff this morning. I got to be official. There we go. Now I'm officially in St. Patty's gear. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I need your number two, love. Okay. So let me get this in here. Who wants to run point on getting us all connected? I don't know who would like to do that. And I don't know the best way. Actually, you know what? I think the best way for this situation, especially for me, is Elizabeth, why don't you email me and put your name in the subject line? I will get you a number. Karen, I don't know, do I have you or not? I don't know if I do or not. But if I don't, go ahead and just email me. Put your names your names that are in here in the subject line, and I'll get you guys phone numbers. So my phone number, so you guys can reach out to me. And if you want, or if the other mods, I'm pretty sure it's like everything else. They have to see you, touch you, and feel you, and know that you're okay before they want you to have their phone number. It's crazy out here. You think people are normal people, and then you get some freaks. Not that you're a freak. We love you. We love you, girl. We love you. Yeah. 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 But you never know. You never know. No, just joking. Yeah. Well, I do hope that they do because, when you hear allegations like this, sometimes young children, even 15-year-olds, they don't tell parents. They're scared, or they don't think there was anything wrong with it, or they were groomed and manipulated to think that it was okay, and if you just keep your mouth shut. And there's just a laundry list. And I want to I want to congratulate them because both of them said that they believe their son. And sometimes standing by your children is some of the most important work you can do. Sometimes it's hard. I know from personal experience that it's sometimes hard for parents to stand next to their children, but parents love their children. In most cases, some are just despicable monsters, and we cover them here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. But for the most part, parents love their children. The majority of parents love their children and stand by them through thick and thin. That's what parents do. And so, whenever you have a child that's going through stuff and you don't know what to do, it sometimes gets hard. And sometimes letting that child know that you believe them helps break down walls in and of itself. It really does. So kudos to Andrew and Allie for believing in their son, for sticking by their son, and for wanting the very best for their son. And you can't blame them for that. And I keep saying, even if we find out that these allegations are untrue, that's good news. If we find out that they are true, I just want Andrew as well as Allie to know it is not their fault. It is not their fault. Nobody forced that woman to do what she did. So, ah, yes, yes. The whole thing with H is ridiculous. I do think him and Candace, yes, it is Pixie. I agree. I agree. There are some strong indications, very, very strong indications that it may have happened. Again, we heard it from other sources that weren't Allie, that weren't, um, you know, Jose. These were other people that were in and around the Wells home. So, it's just sorry guys. Mm, well, interesting. Can't talk to you guys about this. Hmm. When those gears start turning. So folks, we have been trying to figure out, some um some things that we're going to we cannot go live, come out here and go live with where we're going to be going and what we're going to be doing. So I need to find out from you guys, what the best way you feel that we can fundraise for trips that we need to take. There's a lot of things going on that aren't going on here in Florida. And while we can't expose where we're going at any given time, we do need to still fundraise and crowd fund for some of these trips. And we've got a couple coming up. One is at the end of April and into May. I'm thinking that we're not 100% sure because Olivia has to relieve herself of this project she's working on, and so that's kind of because I don't want to get into her business, but she does another job, and when there's something that's going on, she can't leave. So right now she needs to dispose of this particular venture with her boss so she can go on another excursion. But we're kind of we've already spoke to people, we've already got people lined up, we've already got our place to stay. There's a person out there that's going to be providing us a place to stay. However, we're going to have real costs with airfare and a car rental, but everything else is pretty much covered. But those are the two things that we need. This is going to be an epic situation. You guys don't. I know I have to be very careful of what I say, but I've got to do it in such a way that we don't get torpedoed, right? I mean, that's what people do. They watch this channel and do everything they can to torpedo the work that we're doing. So I can tell you that this is a major case that has been going on and has been spotlighted in the arena, but it is in the northern states, and this is way past Tennessee that's going on, and we need to get up there to run the story. So I'm not sure quite how to go about it with the situation that we're doing, but we never disappoint when we start fundraising and going to these locations to do interviews with people and bring that story back to you. So what we are planning it. It is, if you guys do want to donate, you guys can donate down here. Please put April trip on there so that those funds are specifically for our April trip, specifically for if you guys would like to help sponsor and crowdfund for that trip. That's how you can do it. Donate to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, but be sure to put the memo section as April trip. There's also going to be something, it's going to be the end of April, Mayish. I'm not sure exactly when, but we are going up there to cover the case. And again, we've already reached out to a lot of people. Somebody in this area has already is already providing us a guest house to stay in, so we have no fees for our room. It's just the airfare and auto rental that we need to try to crowdfund for. So just to let you, I love the shirt too, Pixie. I love the shirt too. My best friend bought it for me several years ago, but I can only wear it a couple times because it's got clovers all over it. But many of you guys don't know, I'm a Harley Davidson enthusiast. I love motorcycles. I do not personally obtain or have a motorcycle license, but I tell you what, if any of my friends do, they always have me riding. We won't say the word. I even have my friend Glenn. I do a lot of political stuff with him. Some days I'll just call him and I'm like, dude, I need to go out on the bike. Come pick me up. Let's go. You know, and he will. And we just go riding. And I love it. I love it. I need to get with him and do something. My friend, one of my friends, Jennifer, I do a lot with. She's another political friend of mine. And her and I were out drinking. We just had a cocktail and a dinner at a very nice upscale restaurant the day I came back from South Carolina. And she's like, I need to get out on the motorcycle, but I just don't want to go with my husband by ourselves. And I'm like, well, let me get a hold of Glenn. So I'm going to be seeing Glenn tomorrow morning at a breakfast for the Christian Family Coalition. And we're going to be chatting about upcoming events that we can go and hang out and have friends and stuff like that. I've been so entrenched in all this and building this channel that I haven't really spoken to a lot of the people that helped me get started, really, in all fairness, in the grand scheme of things, that's what it boils down to. So let's see. Need to email Andrea. Yes, my email is bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com. So let's see what else we got. Yes, yes, yes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And here's very important, guys. We do discuss a lot with Summer Wells. We're going to be going over this interview with Justice for All. And we've got a friend that's going to be coming on here in about a half hour. Hold on, let me just text her real quick and tell her. Give me just a second. Let me know when you're in. All right, so just let her know, let me know when she's in chat, because she's behind us many years, many hours. So I take it that she's on the West Coast while we're on the East Coast, and there's that long time difference. But anyways, we do talk about Summer Wells. We try to get to the bottom of a lot of stuff, and Duty Ron was on there on his channel yesterday. He was giving his opinion from a law enforcement perspective about having interviews on lives and stuff like that could be potentially used against Jose later in the case. And I do respect, you guys know how I feel about law enforcement and Duty Ron specifically. But I have to tell you that, I understand his perspective, but in news journalistic perspective, you want the interview. You want the interview. And they've been dealing with interviews like this from, organizations for very, very long times. And they've been able to, news organizations are news organizations. I don't know if Justice for All quite classifies. I know I have a press credentials. I know Jonathan Lee Riches has press credentials. And being an investigative journalist is just that. It's no different than saying Brian Enton going and knocking on the door of the suspect's mom, and interviewing her with cameras in her face. And, this is stuff that law enforcement has had to deal with for many, many years. And while personally, I do agree with a couple things, like instead of bringing somebody live, you pre-record them and then you cut out, because if many of you guys know, when we went to Rogersville, Tennessee, we did a lot of interviews that were just recorded, and then we altered those recordings and brought you what we could. We didn't run or stream the entire interview, because there were some things that we didn't think we should be discussing or that people needed to hear. And we actually turned some of those recordings over to law enforcement because of the information that they contained, and never aired those at all. That to me is being responsible. We are all, trying to find answers. We are all trying to bring awareness to the case. We are all trying to make, as much information public. But there are some things that I have to agree that doesn't, even if you get the information, doesn't mean that the public should. And I'm not sure. Like, I listened to Jose's, and he had some information related to her home. When I listened to his interview, I have to say that yes, he did have information that could most likely be used in a court of law, but it's not unknown information. It was well visible information that was disclosed in many cases. Stuff that needs to be is still investigated, I'm sure. Especially with the allegations that he had brought up and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, Duty Ron is very correct in the fact that, from a law enforcement perspective, we should be watching what we release and what we ask and what we say and what we bring to the public light. I get that. I get that. But from a journalistic standpoint, those things kind of butt heads at times. So, I will always stand on the side of the rights of people. And in this case, I do respect Duty Ron, and I get what he was trying to say. And if people out there do get these interviews, if you can use a little bit of consideration for the pending criminal case, that would be very highly respected. But, again, we are out here trying to make a difference in the capacities that we were given to make a difference in. And for me specifically, we did an interview with Allie. Did we air the entire interview? Of course not. We've had a lot of interviews. We aired the entire interview with Dudley. I have to say that we did pretty much air the entire interview with Dudley. But that's because we provided that interview to the family first and had them approve it and make sure that it was, okay for release, which they gave us permission to release. Good morning, ZZ. Good morning. Let's see. Yeah. I do. I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement. It does appear that is yeah, I have to agree. That is, she has always seeked it, and it's prevalent right now, right? So she's home alone, and what does she do? She's on YouTube doing all these things that she should not be doing, being a person of interest in the disappearance of her daughter, and it's because she needs attention. She doesn't know how to be alone. I really don't think she knows how to live alone and on her own and just block out the world for a little while and fix herself. She's not doing anything to fix herself. And oh my gosh, we were, everybody's been sending me, I got a great group here, right? I do. I have a great group that sends me a whole lot of information, a whole lot of information. And you guys sent me emails of her literally having both hands over the alcohol and tipping it up like she had to have it. It was sad. It was sad. Um, I, you know, I've I've met alcoholics, and I have not had seen an alcoholic that bad yet. Um, you know, are there? Of course there are. Of course there are. I just personally, I've seen a lot, but they weren't that bad yet. Yeah, I don't get it. I agree with that. I agree with that. If you want to send me your telephone number in my email, email and telephone. If you email me, I'll have your email. But if you want to send me your number in my email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, I will make sure that Anissa and Robin get it, and you guys can start communicating together. Just throwing that out there. So without, I'm just trying to kill some time here until it gets to 9 o'clock. So why don't I run right now? I'm just going to, and I got to pull it up on this computer. I'm going to run the video that I have. I haven't even saved the video. It's still in my video editing software, but I just want you guys to see what I've been working on. It's related to Chappie Franklin Banks. And they thought for many years, this is a cold case, 31-year cold case. And again, this video is not done yet. I still have to, add some more videos to it and splice them together. And so this is just a portion that I have. Let me see if I can share this video and bring it to you. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Looks horrible, doesn't it? All right, let me see. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Oh, here we go. Put this down. Okay. Make sure that we're still up. Okay, we are. So wonder if this is
happened that fateful day.
Yeah.
How
There we go. Let's see what we got.
Andra, aka Bullhorn Betty, is sitting here in front of the Wisteria Plaza. We are covering the case of Chappie Franklin Banks. He was murdered here January 7th, 1991. He left his home in Land O'Lakes and made his way here, but stopped by an ATM machine prior to coming here and withdrew an unknown amount of money. When he got here, he started his day like every other day. He went home every afternoon for lunch, and his roommates were not at that afternoon.
Is somebody saying that there's no volume? Are you guys not being able to hear it? I just saw that there's no audio. Is there no audio on it? It's muted? Huh. Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Hmm. Could you guys hear it before I disappeared? Oh, that stinks. Okay. Let's see. Remove. Let me check the audio here. Sorry about that. So you guys can hear me, but it was muted with the sound. That's odd. Oh, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. Well, I'm going to have to get it on the other computer, I guess. I don't know what to do. Did you guys hear it? Let me ask you this. Did you guys hear it whenever I was up, but whenever I removed myself, you guys couldn't hear it anymore? Is that what happened? Okay, so I guess got to keep myself on it. Okay. Let me add it and then I will play it. Oops. Hold on. So funny seeing that it looks psychedelic. Okay, let's just try it again. Let's try it again. Let's see if I can put this in front of. We'll try it again. Hold on a second. Let me get out of here. I can't. I'm still having. Oh no 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 no! We don't want to leave. No no cancel cancel cancel. I'll get this small. Now we can get it small. Okay, let's try it again. We'll back it up. We'll start over, and I won't take myself off the screen. I didn't realize. Like I said, I'm still working on this new Apple. I'm not sure quite what my criteria is.
Andra, aka Bullhorn Betty, is sitting here in front of the Wisteria Plaza. We are covering the case of Chappie Franklin Banks. He was murdered here January 7th, 1991. He left his home in Land O'Lakes and made his way here, but stopped by an ATM machine prior to coming here and withdrew an unknown amount of money. When he got here, he started his day like every other day. He went home every afternoon for lunch, and his roommates were not at their house that afternoon. So they have no idea whether or not he actually made it to the house for lunch that day or not. It has been alleged that Eileen Warnes may have been responsible for this unsolved case. Over the years, they have ruled her out as being a possibility because they stated she was in Daytona at a pawn shop during the afternoon of this homicide. This homicide has gone cold. It has not been solved. And we are just covering this case. If anybody has any information about this case, about Chappie Franklin Banks, you're asked to please call Pasco County Sheriff and report any information that you may have. A little bit of background about Frank Banks, which is the preferred name he'd like to go under, according to his brother Ray. He was in New York. He was an accountant. He went for a firm. He was from a well-to-do family and got a good job in an accounting firm in New York. He befriended two of his friends, a husband and a wife, and they actually decided to come here to Land O'Lakes, which what they described as a sleepy town in 1991. They wanted to get away from the big crime of New York, and crime followed them right here to Land O'Lakes. Frank loved a lot of things. He loved being out at the beach and visited Clearwater Beach quite often. He was a regular to gather with a few friends. They spoke of him highly as being a very nice, kind person with a very dry sense of humor. On January 7th, when he showed up to work, again, like any other day, he brought his snacks with him. He turned on his coffee pot. And from the time he got here to the time he was supposed to leave, something grave happened to him. The allegations is that he was shot one time in the back of the head with a shotgun. Another difference with Eileen Warnes is that she almost always used a handgun in her crimes, again removing her as a possibility of this murder. Now, we also come to realization that there was allegations that he was seeing a married woman at the time. Was that married woman his roommate? We don't know. I can tell you that the people that he lived with still lived in that home as of 2013. Also, as you will see, we're his office building. It's almost in the back of this building. So here's the front entrance. As you follow me around, there are groves on this side. And it was down this drive all the way to the end where his office, his single office for the Same Day Express shipping company, was located. He was a 56-year-old bookkeeper here at the Same Day Express, which is a shipping company. He came into work and never left. They found him inside this building with an uneaten orange and a banana with his coffee pot on. This was an undisturbed, no struggle crime scene. Nobody understands what happened that fateful day. However, this case has still gone unsolved and is currently cold. It is 31 years old. His car was found, an 83 Toyota Corolla was found in Ocala. Again, it did match a lot of Eileen Warnes's MO. Bumper sticker removed, plates removed, no visible prints inside of the vehicle. So what happened? What happened this fateful day here at the Same Day Express shipping company? During the investigation, it was alleged that he was seeing a married woman. They were never able to find the married woman that he was alleged to have been sleeping with. He left New York to escape big crime in the city and came here with two friends, a husband and wife, and all three purchased a house here in Land O'Lakes. I'm kind of wondering, if Eileen Warnes has been removed as a possible suspect. The office was not disturbed, which means, or at least alleges to me, tells me that he may have known the person that came in that day. Could it have been one of his roommates? Could the affair have been the wife of his roommate? This is still up for speculation. The case still goes unsolved to this day, and we're here just covering this case. So the allegations in this case is that somebody came in here, shot him in the head. They took his wallet and his car on January 11th, 1991. His car was actually found not too far from where Eileen Warnes was staying at the time in Ocala. What happened here in the Wisteria Plaza in this office building behind me, January 7th, 1991? Although Frank's wallet and car were taken in the commission of this crime, burglary was ruled out because he still had his watch, he still had his necklace, and he still had his ring on his person when they found him the next day. Could the murderer be closer than they think? This shook this small town here in Land O'Lakes.
And there we have it, folks. That is the beginning part. Oops, let me get out of here. That is the beginning. It still has some work to be done, as you can tell. But for the most part, that is what I'm going to be finishing up. It will be live. It will, maybe her husband. It's funny. And from what I can gather is the husband and wife are now potentially deceased. So, I don't know if this case will ever be solved. Eileen Warnes was a serial killer, as many of you guys know. And it was, that was the hottest lead at the time. It really was. It was the hottest lead that they had at the time. And now, we may never know what happened to her. So what happened to this case? But in 1991, they didn't have as many facts in crime solving and in the technology and the stuff that we have today. And so it makes you wonder, because a lot of people, back in days were able, many years, because of the lack of technology, were able to get away with a lot of stuff. So At any rate, I'm still waiting. We should be getting close. 7 minutes till. Let me see where we are with our dear friend. Let me see if I can. And I can't really send her anything on the computer because everything's not set up on this computer. So I'm still waiting for Stephanie. If Stephanie's in chat, please let me know. Let me just text her. Are you in yet? But she went over, but we'll go ahead and just, listen to some of the stuff that we have for, um, for the interview that they did. We'll discuss that. I know that Justice for All just asked that we provided a 48-hour window, which we have. I've got to say, again, kudos to him and ICU. This video actually has garnered almost 70,000 views. It was a very good, a very good interview. Again, I would have liked a little more. There are some contradictions that I would like, if they get an opportunity to speak to Jose again, to address. I'd like that to addressed as much as possible, because there were several contradictions, and I do want to find out, what involvement he played in that home, and with the alcohol element in that home, because we see Candace, we see how she is acting right now. We see it with our own eyes. And there's no way you can tell me that she wasn't at least acting something like that then. I mean, maybe it wasn't as chaotic because, there wasn't the abuse element in that home that Don Wells brought. And so her guard was a little more relaxed when Jose was there. And he probably had a very comfortable situation, even though it was filthy and, all these things were around, the lack of privacy, the just horrible living environment. But the situation inside the home was most likely calm, and as opposed to what it was when Don came back home, where fights were going on in the home, beer bottles were being thrown at him, things of that nature. And I just want to know what transpired there. And I just can't. I'm sorry. I believe Allie, and Allie told me that Candace stole her boyfriend, you know, and he was trying to act like he would never do anything with a married woman. And I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it, because he was there alone with her without the husband for a really long time, playing house. He describes playing house, right? Cooking for the kids. This is what a father does. He said that multiple times. This is what a father does. And this is what a father does. And it was like, it was just, it was just not right. So let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up. I don't know where we're going to be in the stream. But I would like to play some of it. Let me get over here. I got to fast forward to a couple spots, and we'll wait for Stephanie to get in.
My kids with homework, he cooks, he cleans. Like, who is this guy? And it's nothing special.
Here, this is. Yeah, we'll go back just a little bit.
Bear with me 1 second. I'm calling.
Please leave your message.
Okay, he was having problems getting.
Things were scattered everywhere. It looked like she was in the process of moving, but she decided to stay.
What do you mean she decided to stay?
I don't know. She said she was gonna. She didn't want to be there alone with the kids anymore because Donnie was gone, and he shouldn't have left. He should have stayed. She didn't want to move to Utah. She specifically stressed that a lot. I don't want to move up there. I don't want to go up there. No. And I guess she was about to move because a lot of her stuff were still in boxes and scattered, and they were looking for things. It was a pretty big mess in there. And little by little, I would help them, clean up little by little. And the more consistent I got with it, the boys started to help me, Wayland and Wyatt. You know, I would do the
Again, he's talking about cleaning this house and, doing all these things. And he's patting himself on the back, showing them and how the boys started helping. I mean, if that place looked that horrible by the time Chris McDonough got there, I mean, if he really did, I mean, I don't get it, because if you're there that many months and you're working on the house as hard as he's acting that he's working on the house, it makes you question, is that an accurate statement? Because think about it. If your children are at work and you're there with just Candace, Grandis, yourself, and Summer, what are you doing all day? What are you doing all day? Yeah. Sorry, I got my alarm on for I wouldn't miss Stephanie if Stephanie's in here. Stephanie, if you are in the chat, let me know so I can get you the link. Let's see what else we got going on here. Sorry. What was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. I'll get a hold of Dudley. Let's get a hold of Dudley. Let me see if I can get a hold of him now. Well, I just sent him a text. We'll see if he has some time right now to come live and speak. We'll just have him on speakerphone and see if we can ask him the questions about the red truck. So get a hold of Dudley and ask about the red truck that Jose brought up to clear up some of the craziness that Don would use. Okay. So it's been sent. We'll see if he has an opportunity to respond. I got a message, of course, from my mommy. She's apparently watching. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. And so let's see here. Let me see. Hold on one second. I don't see Stephanie in here. I'm going to see if I can. Hold on. Okay, well, I was going to see if JLR wanted to come live here and talk about our interview with Allie and some of the allegations about Hunter, and see if he wanted to talk about them, but I was unable to get a hold of him. So let me just text him too. All right. So if JLR gets in here, I'll bring him live. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. Rouge Vixen. Hello. Hello. So again, I'm bringing this up. No, okay. So he's doing something right now, so I won't be able to do that. But at any rate, what was it here? So we've got Jose describing this house and how he's getting everybody cooking and cleaning, but but the house isn't clean. He was there for months from what he's stating, yet the house went unmanicured and still had a lot of garbage in it. So, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So we'll see. I've already sent an email out to Dudley. I haven't heard back from him. We'll try to call him later to see if we can get him live. I can see if Allie's available, maybe bring her here live. We'll see while we're waiting for folks to get on here. I'm still waiting for Stephanie to come on and give us her thoughts, but it's still very, very early for her. So, yeah, I have to agree. That's where I don't understand. I don't understand this. I really, truly just don't understand. I agree with you, Sue. I agree. I agree. Yeah, we'll see what if Dudley has some stuff. That's okay. So Stephanie's just getting up, so that's okay. Oh. So she's getting on here shortly, and then we'll be discussing. So we're going to go ahead and keep playing until she gets on, and then she can start explaining some of the stuff she found out. And I'm still trying to get the interview with that author. That author had to reschedule. And so I have not had an opportunity to sit down with him. So I'm hoping that here in the near future, we will sit down with him. Yeah, I know, but he's working. He's working on another project right now, he just said. So I'm sure we're going to have to, we'll get him on. Maybe I'll buy him some cupcakes or something. I know he has a sweet tooth, so maybe maybe I can bribe him. Maybe I can bribe him. For those that have not yet joined JLR's YouTube channel, please do so. He does a lot of different stuff. While we stay here, pretty much, I don't cover really anything but crime of some sort. Cold cases. Obviously, Summer Wells is a big case that we actually made 2 trips down, and Justin met us in Tennessee for our second trip. I've met him personally. He's a really, really nice guy. Funny. Believe it or not, he is hilarious. I love I love being around him. He's just a great guy. I mean, in person, an amazing guy. What you guys see on TV, he's great, but in person, he's 10 times better. I have to tell you that. I have to be honest. So yes, and don't forget to hit the like button. So let's just keep going and seeing what Jose still has to say.
The dishes, Waylon would dry them, and Wyatt would put them up so they wouldn't break or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They started sweeping, when they returned back to school, and they would come home, they weren't even allowed to eat until they had to do their homework, which I feel that's wrong because, the children eat at 11 in the morning and they're coming home at 3 from the bus, 3:30. Of course, they're going to want to eat something small. They're hungry.
And again, he's talking about the food and the nutrition aspect of it and how they can't eat when they come home. They can't even get a snack until their homework is done. And he's talking about Candace here because Don's not home yet, right? I mean, he's lived there for months before Don ever got home. So who's he talking about that's doing this to these children? And who is it? None other than Candace the mother. So again, yes, I agree, Aubrey. They always come home hungry, because I got to tell you, even children burn a massive amount of food, energy and everything. They're running, they're playing, they're, all these activities at school, homework, everything. They need a snack when they come home, a nice healthy snack like fruit or, nuts or something that gives them energy, a good energy, not cupcakes and potato chips and soda pop. That's not what children need when they come home. They need something hearty, they need something healthy, and it actually feeds their brain to concentrate better on their homework, believe it or not. It's a known fact. It's food for the brain. Everybody heard, I'm sure everybody has heard that comment made. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. And so, and again, this is him discussing the things that are going on inside that home. And I have to believe what he's discussing is things that are going on inside the home before Dawn ever got home, because we don't hear about Dawn until later in this interview, right? So what he's discussing right now is the handling of Candace with her children. Let's keep going.
They're young. They burn through that energy, and they couldn't even eat. They had to do their homework first before they ate. And even after their homework was done, it's dollar pizzas, or chips or cupcakes.
And do you know who we heard about these dollar pizzas from? Allie. Allie was the first one that let us know the junk that these children were eating. When we interviewed her in December, her mother and her grandmother, that's when we found out about these dollar pizzas. That's not nutrition. That's not healthy. That's not recommended by, the people of pediatrics about the types of nutrition children should get. Yes. And quite frankly, they're not that good, right? Can you imagine eating, like, these kids probably never want to see another slice of pizza again in their life. I mean, can you imagine having pizza every single day of your life? I remember my ex, he came from a large family, a very poor, large family. And so the parents always took him out for chicken, KFC, bucket of chicken, because you can feed a family with KFC, a larger family with KFC. He does not like fried chicken anymore because of his upbringing. Like, he doesn't even want to see fried chicken. So whenever I make chicken, I make baked chicken, I make this kind of chicken, I make that kind of chicken, he'll eat it. Fried chicken, I love fried chicken, I got to tell you. And I wasn't able to eat fried chicken for a really long time. So at any rate, I can't imagine what these children, I can't imagine. They probably never want to see another slice of pizza again. It's probably affected them. And think about it. How many times do we go to, like, football gatherings and stuff like that, and it's beer and pizza? These children will never be able to experience that because they probably never want to see another slice of pizza again. And just affected. They're just affected. Yes, and if for those that would like to get some merch, please visit the merch site. It's a Bullhorn Betty. We have the coffee club mug. We also have a lot of other stuff. We have hoodies, shirts. We have phone covers for your phone, stickers. We have everything on that site. So please, if you'd like to go there, help support this channel. We need all the support we can get, especially in light of the upcoming. We've got a lot of upcoming trips that we have planned in the pike to bring you guys great content, view content, not sitting here in the office, but actually being out and getting that content live for you. I agree.
I'm saying to myself, like, where's like turkey and cheese, tuna fish, maybe a can of spaghetti and meatballs, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not even that was there, and I could remember that when the first month that I was there, Allie would constantly, every single day, she would go to Walmart, all the way to Kingsport, to Walmart, and spend her little bit of money that she earns from her job, taken away from her children and giving it to Summer and the boys, because even she was eye to eye with me. These kids need to eat.
See, and we heard that. I mean, in our interview with Allie back in December, again, remember how I told you about there's a lot of stuff in here that Jose himself was talking about that we no, I know it's true. I know are factual statements because they've been corroborated. We've had more than one person corroborate this information. And that's why I said that it's what upsets me and what is frustrating with me is when he embellishes or doesn't tell the truth, it takes away from the truth he's telling. This is an accurate statement. This is a a proven statement. And the other side, yeah, absolutely. And so I know for a fact that this actually happened. And if I'm not mistaken, this has happened on more than one occasion where Allie went out and took her own money to feed Candace's children. And again, this is before Don Wells came home. So what Jose is talking about right here is about Candace's parenting, not Don's. Candace's. Yeah, that is a great pickup. I didn't catch that. But yes, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Let me see if Stephanie's in yet. Yeah, she's just getting up. So again, it's very early for her. So we don't care if she's a little bit late. We got this.
Like, what's going on here? And it was just an incredible experience, you could say, an eye-opener. It made me realize, wow, compared to these people, I'm a wonderful dad, like. Yeah.
So now he's comparing himself based upon the parenting of Candace. And he's even saying himself, compared to these people, I'm a wonderful parent. So it seems to me in his own mind, he knows that he was not the best father to his children. But compared to them, he's a rock star. You see where I'm coming? So he's telling us a little bit about himself too. I believe him. Here is where I believe him. I believe he's made a lot of mistakes with his children. And I believe standing next to Candace and Don, he looks like a rock star of a father. I believe that statement. I believe that statement.
I cook, I clean, wash clothes. I've even done laundry for them, even, and they're amazed because all they kept saying is, Donnie don't do things like that. Like that.
See, and so he keeps coming back to Donnie. He's comparing himself throughout this entire thing to Don Wells. That does not sound like somebody that is not with the wife half. Because why would somebody that's just a friend be comparing themselves with another man that's with that woman? These are things that I don't quite understand. They don't make sense to me. And again, he is distancing himself from the bad in that home and making himself appear to be the saint. Yet he was in that home. We all saw the condition of that home. And these are the issues that I personally have with the statement. I don't believe he was the saint in that home. Did he do some good in that home? I believe he did. Did he do some bad in that home? I believe he did. He brought violence into that home, no matter how you look at it. Him and Donnie got into a big fight in front of those children. Yeah.
That man does not do anything. All he does is work, drink, come home.
And again, another stab at Don Wells. Look, guys, I am not Don Wells fan at all. But did you hear how he's blaming Don for going to work, bringing money home? Candace is sitting home all day long. She's not working. Why is she not cleaning that home? And why is Jose blaming Don for her lack of work? I believe it. I believe it. But he's putting everything on Don. Think about it. So Don's supposed to let's just get this clear and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not a feminist. I'm not a sexist. I'm not anything. Okay. You know, however, if Don wanted to stay home and take care of the kids and Candace go to whatever works for the household, I'm not that kind of person. But you're trying to tell me that a man that goes to work and leaves his wife at home to take care of the house and the children, he should have to go to work in hot houses. Now, remember, he's a drywall guy, so there's no AC in those homes. There's no, nothing's really working in those homes yet. So you're talking about hot work, right? Hot work, especially in Tennessee heat. He's supposed to go there, work his tail off. Now, granted, I don't like him. I don't know, he's obviously got his own problems with drugs and alcohol, but he goes to work. Then he's supposed to come home and cook and clean for the wife he's paying to stay home, that he's not having her go out to a job. I don't understand that. That seems to me like Candace isn't supposed to do anything. She's just supposed to sit in the house and twiddle her thumbs. Am I wrong about that? That's my point. That is my point. That is my point. Yes. That is my point. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Guys, don't forget to like this segment on the Bullhorn Betty channel, please. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. Possibly. Yeah, it is a little odd in some of the commentary that he's actually doing here, because I don't get it. I don't get his philosophy. But let's just keep going.
That's it.
Okay, could you tell us about when Don returned? How did all of that go down?
Again, he just acknowledged everything he was saying prior to all this was before Don returned. So all that stuff he was just talking about, the kids not being nutritioned properly, the house being a complete and utter mess. He talks about Candace being home all the time, Don not sending money. We're going to be getting into that portion of this interview here shortly. And then, you keep wondering, why is he blaming Don? So far, he has given Candace a free pass for everything in the eye of the public. Everything. It is not her fault whatsoever. Are you kidding me? This is what degrades his interview, in my opinion. It was absolutely on her. It is absolutely on her. She was responsible for these children. She was living in that home with these children by herself. The only person you can blame for the condition of that home and the condition of those children were Candace. That's it. So why isn't she being blamed yet? So let's hear about how life was. Sounds like life was pretty great, except for all the garbage, crap, insects, and lack of food. It seems like everything else in the household was great. Right? I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm sorry. This is real stuff, but it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And so we're listening to this, right? It's crazy. So let's hear about how horrible life, even how much worse it got when Don came home. Like the insects, the rodents, the dirt, the filth, the no food, the living quarters, the no walls on the bathroom. Now let's hear about how much worse it got when Don came home. Let's hear how much worse it got when Don came home.
Well, basically, when he was coming back, I remember Candace was telling me that, oh, he's pissed and You know, before he returned, I find it kind of strange that he said he didn't know who I was until he came home, because I had spoken with him on numerous occasions on the telephone while he was on his way back from Utah, you know, and I thought everything was cool between us. He came home, he was calm, he didn't drink the first 2 days. On the second day that he was there, he got his old job back, was ready to return back to work. And next thing I know, he's back into work. A couple of days later, he gets paid, fills up his fridge full of all this frozen junk food and beer and liquor. And
so Don fills up the refrigerator with all this junk food, liquor, and beer. But wasn't he talking about how the house is already filled with junk food when he got there? But somehow that's all Don's fault too? And Allie had to buy all these groceries for, what happened to the $300 worth of groceries Allie purchased? Where did that all go? No, she can't, because she is banned from life from all Walmarts around the country. I wonder if she's banned from all Walmarts around the world. That'd be crazy. Good morning, Lavender. Good morning. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. And none of us like Don. It's not like we're sticking up for Don, but you know, it just seems really, it seems like a really one-sided interview here. Like it's all Don's fault. That's what's being conveyed here. But he was living with Candace before Don ever came home. Whose fault was that? And that's what I'm thinking. He doesn't want to. Okay, so we got Stephanie in here. Let me drop her a link. Rover, come on over. I just dropped the link, Stephanie. Let me get this off and let me move this over to this. And when you come up, I'll bring you on. We're just talking about, we're only in 26 minutes of the interview. And look how much conversation we have. Like we'll be talking about this interview for a little minute. We really will. I know a lot of people on here have been discussing this case and have been discussing this interview and everything like that. And again, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. So we're going to be bringing Stephanie up. Stephanie went through hours and hours of these interviews and listened very intensely and had pages of notes last night. And I know she was working on condensing the pages of notes to bring to our attention. So once she gets up here, I'm just going to ask her a few questions. And yeah. Okay. All right. So she is up. We're going to add her to the stream and we are going to talk. Good morning. How are you doing, babe?
Good. Super early.
Good. I know. And that's what I was telling everybody. I'm like, she's running a little bit late, but that's okay because she's like on the East Coast while we're on the West Coast. You know, we're wide awake and ready to rock and roll, and you're poor thing. But we appreciate you being here. We really do.
Of course.
So
I'm usually up this early to go to work, but go ahead. You're good.
So tell me, you really worked very hard to go through this interview with Jose on Justice for All, and we're listening very intensely. Let me ask you this before we get into very specific things. How did you feel about the interview overall? I mean, I think Justin and ICU did a great job. There were some things, in my opinion, that I wish they would have elaborated on or pushed a little further with. But other than that, I thought they did a great job. What is your opinion overall of the interview?
I don't really believe what he has to say.
Okay. Do you
Uh,
believe
I
some of it? Do you not? Is there
yes, I
specifics that you don't believe?
I believe the truth of the house and
Mhm.
like, the scenario of the house, like the living conditions and everything, but I don't believe like his truths on like the relationships with the women and um like and the I don't um believe like his whole situation because of the fact like he said he moved there to for the fact that he was divorcing his wife and everything. So I'm guessing he had kids with that wife, so he left that lady and their kids to go fix himself, but yet he never fixed himself, and then he left again to go fix himself again. So I don't really believe like his insides on the story.
Did you hear the situation? So he was staying with Allie, and obviously there was something that happened with Allie. I want the audience to kind of follow me with this in this respect. So we had something. He was with Allie. He admitted to having relations with Allie. Then he moves
Mhm.
over to Candace's house. He tries to allege that nothing happened with Candace, but when he had left Candace's house, if you remember, he said that, he had gotten his paycheck and he told Grandis what he was doing, and Grandis ended up driving him. But he met another woman on the
Mhm.
internet, and he left Candace's house to go be with this other woman that I think he might still be with today. But
Mhm.
again, the bouncing of women, like he was in
Mhm.
Allie's house, he had a relationship with her. He was in Candace's house, and now he left Candace's house and went over to this other woman's house and was in a relationship with her. So what makes us think that he's having a relationship? He's living in the house with Allie and having some sort of relationship with her, and he left Candace's house to go have a relationship with this woman, but nothing happened with Candace.
Right. He's a couch jumper.
Yeah,
A grown man couch jumper.
I agree. I agree. And so tell me what. Okay, let's just go through your notes. So what did you find out when you went back and listened to this with a fine-tuned ear?
What did I find out?
Yeah,
I don't know. I wrote quite a bit down.
let's go over the notes.
Um, uh, yeah, because a lot of it I just wrote down like as I was going. Like when he had said he threw his phone in the ocean. Like who throws their phone in the ocean? I don't know if that was just like a theory, like a thing just to throw out there. Like yeah, I threw my
Yeah.
phone, way in the ocean. Like who does that?
But the
And
question
another,
is why would he have to say that? Why did
yeah,
he was a convincing statement because he's like, I think if I recall correctly, that actually was with when they were talking about Andrew, and he says, if Andrew's calling that number, he's not getting a hold of me because I can guarantee that phone's nowhere near me. It's 3,000 miles in the bottom of an
yes.
ocean. And it's like it was a
Mm,
convincing statement as to convince everybody that there's no way Andrew is getting a hold of him, which makes me, suspicious.
right, right. And the other thing that kind of got me is when they said, or he had said they talked to like the FBI like a few
Mhm.
days after Summer went missing, and then he just kind of like fell off the grid. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but if I stayed at somebody's house knowing they had kids and their kid went missing, I'm not gonna fall off the grid and not follow what happens with her. I'm gonna
Hmm.
keep watching it. I'm gonna try to figure out what happened. I feel like now he's using it as an excuse because he said he went and got help, which many people do go and get help, they do.
Hmm.
But a lot of people use it as an excuse as well to, jump around and get around because some people don't learn
Yeah.
to grow up.
And that could very well be, whenever if he went to go get help. Now I'm kind of still on the fence as to what kind of help he got. He's talking about this mental break. Did he go into rehab, or did he go into go into counseling? There's a difference
Right,
because
right.
rehab has counseling, but was
Mhm.
it alcohol and drug counseling? I'm still not convinced that normal people live like this with children.
No, the
Some
way
phobias,
people,
they do have the what is that called? The where you keep everything. I can't remember. Hoarders. There are some of those
yeah,
out.
yeah, trust me, I know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was saying that there's nobody in their right mind that would live in that house unless they were on drugs.
Yeah. That's what I keep going back to that. I keep going back to
Yeah,
that because
because
many of you guys
I,
know I lived that lifestyle at one point. It wasn't for very long.
yeah,
It was, and that was probably the filthiest that my house had ever gotten was through that time.
yeah, I never had bugs unless when I was really young in Chicago, and even like afterwards where I moved, if they had bugs, man, I was just like, no, not even walking through the front door. Not even
Hmm.
worth it. I couldn't do it. I can't live with bugs. They stay outside. I'm inside.
Yeah, yeah. So Aubrey, thank you. We wish your son a happy. You probably didn't see that stuff, but Aubrey's son's turning 18 today, so we want to wish her son a
Oh,
happy
happy
birthday. It's her
birthday.
birthday too. Like I always, my mom always says that to me. When it's my birthday, she goes, "It's my birthday too." I'm thinking, yeah, I guess so. So, what other things did not seem right as you were going through this video, or yeah, just read from your notes and we'll have a discussion about it. What was the next thing?
um, a lot of what he said was like, I don't know the word for it, but like he would say one thing and then say another, which would like contradict what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like he
Yeah,
had said, like, Dawn was numb and doesn't know how to feel, but yet when he would come home, Summer would run and love on him and stuff, and or then, he would be spanking her butt because she went down the driveway, or I don't know, it just seemed like a lot of it probably did happen. I'm not saying it didn't,
mm-hmm.
but it was like a lot of negativity like the whole time. And like I get it. People can be shitty, and they can be shitty to their kids and everything. Like I've been there, seen it, I've have reported it several times, but I don't know, I feel like as him, he seems like he's a little bit older. He should have
Yeah,
having kids as well, he should have known, like, even leaving the situation, okay, this isn't good. I'm gonna call in and say something, even if he's anonymous,
right.
like you lived there for 6 months and you let that continue. You didn't even try to change it whatsoever. Like, I don't know,
Well,
it
he's
just blows
trying to
my mind.
convince us that he did. That's the problem I have. He's trying to convince the world that, he tried to go in there and make a difference, and damn Don, threw a monkey wrench and everything, and Don this and Don that. And it's like, wait a minute here. You are talking like we were just, I know you weren't here this morning watching the
Yeah.
first segment, but we were actually playing some of Justice for All's um, interview
Interview.
with Jose. And what I find, you know, uh, concerning is he's talking about how the living conditions are horrible. The children aren't eating proper nutrition. He's asking where this is and where that is. And he's specifically talking because, again, Don's not home. It's just
Right.
Candace. But yet he's not blaming. And then he says, Justice for All asked him, well, what was it like whenever Don came back home? And he's like, oh, well, he went to work and he wouldn't come home and cook and clean. And it's like, what is Candace doing all day? If Don's at work, why isn't she doing that?
Mhm.
He's not
Right.
bringing any of that up. He's just wanting to blame Don, blame Don, blame
Yep.
Don. And then he goes in
And
to say, well, Don put, these frozen, went out and bought junk and put frozen pizzas in the freezer and stuff like that. It's like, well, it sounds like he's doing more than Candace did while you guys were together. So why
mhm.
aren't you beating Candace up for this behavior instead of just Don?
Right, and himself. Like,
Yeah,
what was he doing with his money? Where was your
exactly.
money going? You weren't
I would
helping
think
out in that
he was
household.
living there high on the hog without having
Mhm.
to really work. It sounded like the first opportunity he got to have a paycheck, he split.
Yep. I sure did.
So, all right. So the next thing. So we got the phone. We've got the Don stuff. What else did you find a little bit odd with the interview?
Um, I find it kind of weird that he had said that him and or Candace and H was talking about how they admitted that they both had like, you know,
Essay, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like he didn't, you know, that was like a confession. Like you didn't turn around and say something like,
And that's another problem I have. So you heard this,
mm-hmm,
and again, he's still trying to be the saint, and he's still propping Candace up, and he goes into let's talk about this. Uh, Dawn taking a shower, which I don't believe that he ripped Summer out of there or made her get out of the shower. I don't believe that happened
yeah, I
because
don't
I
need
believe
that.
Dawn would have, you know,
Yeah, there
they
would
would
have
have
been
been
some
all
fights.
there. But
Yeah.
you're talking so concerned about Summer being in a shower with her father, but you barely said boo about this allegation that you said you heard from both Candace and H about
Mm-hmm.
this thing that did actually happen. You didn't hear him
Yeah.
say, "I can't believe, Candace did it. I can't I was absolutely furious and just went off on Candace about how could you do this to a young boy and anything like that." You don't hear that same passion that he has to
Right.
attack Dawn to attack Candace. He's just not
Mm-hmm.
doing it.
Yep. And he's like trying to talk about so goodly about, you know, Summer and them, which is fine, but like he just like Hunter, like even though he's young, he's just like, oh, it's okay. He's, you know, 15 now. He's good. Like, no. He
Mhm.
was, you know, assaulted as at 14, like, you know, smoking the cigarettes and drinking, like, sure, yeah, I get it, whatever. But when you're having an intimate relationship with a minor, I don't agree with that.
Absolutely not. And not only that, but we hear, a lot of people that are familiar with the grooming process.
Mhm.
You hear that it's always there's alcohol and other inhibits that are introduced to these
Co-factor.
children
Yep.
at younger ages. And this whole thing with Hunter talking about the water hole and the hard iced tea or whatever it's called. I can't remember it.
Mhm.
You hear that, but when we went back and did the incident cards when we were down there the first time back in December, when we did our fact finding trip down there, we pulled
Yeah.
the incident cards for the things that have happened on that mountain. And there were two separate incidences with two separate parents trying to get their children off that mountain because they found out that they were drinking on that mountain. And when they called Candace and Don to find their address, Candace refused to give it to them. And they had to call law enforcement to help them get their children back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
That's
this
insane.
shows a pattern of behavior. And these children
Mhm.
were like 11 and 12 at the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
She
so,
probably was
yeah,
grooming them too, and they just let it go on for so long.
I felt like
People
law
like
enforcement should have intervened. I mean, if the first time they couldn't
for
prove
sure.
anything, by the second time they should have said, enough. We've got to take one of you guys in, or we've got to arrest you, and
Yeah.
there's been allegations. We've got to look into these further. Those like I just felt like law enforcement has constantly failed the citizens in Rogersville because these crimes are going on and they're not connecting the dots that this has happened previously. You just can't keep having this go on and go on and go on, no matter what their opinion is, whether they care, whether law enforcement cares, whether there's underage children drinking or not. It's still the law. You can't do that. And when you have parents, not once, but twice on the record doing this, it's time to take somebody to jail. Now we find out that it's happened more than that because now H has acknowledged it happening at the water hole. So now you have 3 times. And then when you go through the Facebook pages of them, you realize that there's been inappropriate comments throughout some Facebook posts related to alcohol consumption between Candace and H. We found them ourselves where she had a picture of Cuervo and a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola or something,
That's
and you
insane.
hear Hunter under it saying, "Drink one for me." And this was a year or so ago. So it's been he's obviously the water hole was not the first time for him.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next thing?
Right. Of course not. No. It's probably in that
Yeah.
house of horrors with no walls.
Right.
Uh, um, I know I found it kind of weird how he didn't know any of the workers either, or like Dudley or anybody.
Yeah. That is a
He said
great
he didn't meet anybody else there. Or,
well, that's
that was
because
kind
he
of
wasn't
weird.
there during Dawn. He was there when Dawn was gone. And that's what I keep saying. All this whole entire
Oh,
statement about
okay.
the
And then when he came
horrible
back and stuff.
conditions of this home and everything, like he was only there 1 month after Dawn had gotten back, if even that. I
Mhm.
would say probably 2 or 3 weeks he split. And so it makes you wonder, this whole story he's peddling on this interview is really his relationship when he was with Candace there at the house, and yet he's trying to blame it all on Don. And I'm just, my mind is blown about it. I mean, granted, I know I'm not giving Don a free pass. He had a hand
Mhm.
in the condition of that home, period.
Right.
But so did Candace. So did Candace. And he was there with Candace, not with
Right.
Dawn. He was only there for a limited time with Dawn.
Right.
And just to let people know,
Yeah,
she told me that
that
there is some lag on her end. So if you guys hear a little pause, it's because she has about 30-second lag.
yeah, don't get the T-Mobile internet if you have a basement home.
Okay, so what's the next thing? What else did you find a little
Um,
odd in the statement? Now, were your notes, let me ask you this, were your notes specifically on the odd behavior, or were they notes in general? Should I not just be focusing on odd? Should I focus on what you learned throughout the interview?
Like, I just wrote stuff down that was just like, I guess, work or when he came home.
Mhm.
People he knew. He always, mentioned Candace as like this beautiful princess that had nothing wrong with her.
And we all know that not to be true.
Which, right. I mean, we all got stuff wrong with us, but then again, we're not missing a kid, and we didn't make our kids live in filth for no reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I also thought it was kind of strange when he said that like nobody could find him because he was off grid, but yet Candace or Grandis knew where she dropped him off at.
Right.
Okay, that's kind of weird to me. Like you knew
Yeah.
where you dropped him off at, and he's possibly still with that same lady,
Yeah.
but yet the FBI couldn't find him, and the FBI went to like his son's house or
His
something
son's house. Yeah.
to try to get
Yeah.
a hold of him.
You're going in and out. Your reception's going in and out. We can't hear you.
He was on the phone. His son was on the phone with him,
Stephanie,
and
we
I
can't hear you. It's
just
not,
like,
you're breaking up.
but the FBI couldn't get a hold of you, but you're on the phone with your son.
Mhm. Yeah, and you could
feel
tell that he was
like I can
somewhere. I
find
got a
anybody
clip.
if they
Yeah, I got a clip
want
that he
to.
was somewhere, and it sounded. I heard Justin mute it, and and people were thinking that he was in jail, and I'm thinking, no, he's definitely not in
Yeah,
jail. You can't
that's
have
pretty
this
much
kind of conversation.
what I have.
Yeah,
I was pretty much
yeah. Um, oh, she dropped. She dropped, guys. So she's got a lot of good information. I'll jump off. Okay, let me post. Let me repost the invite. Yeah, you're breaking up real bad. Maybe coming back in might help. Um, and Grace, I'm not saying he didn't clean the house. I'm just saying that, he's acting like he did all this work and he did not. That house, if you're in that house for months on end, 8 hours a day, and that's not even the day that's just 8 hours while the children are at school. And you can't put the house together better than what they did and put better sheets up around the bathroom. So, the young children aren't seeing all your business and things of that nature, which is what it appeared was going on there. It appeared that all his business was being shown every time he went to the bathroom, and it's like, you've been there for months. That should not have been possible. You should have had sheets put up and things of that nature around there. And I'm sorry, it's just not. I just don't. It seems to me that he's saying that he did more around that house than he did, and it seems to me that he's playing a blame game in giving Candace a free pass. Everything's Don's fault in his interview. Everything, even the months that Don wasn't even home, it's all Don's fault. And so I just don't. I really just don't get it. I don't get it. So, it just these are the things that are glaring to me on the face that cause me to pause. And while I know that a lot of the stuff he's saying is true, I'm coming back to the statement I said yesterday, where when you start being dishonest about certain aspects, it calls into question the credibility you have on the truthful statements. That's my only my concern. So, okay, good. Yeah, yeah. So it's just that's the only thing I have. I do too. I believe a lot of what he says. I do believe a lot of what he says. What I don't believe in his statement is his distancing from being part of the problem and him being this this saint, so to speak, in this house. Maybe I'm not saying he didn't help cook, he didn't help clean. I'm just saying he didn't do enough. The house was despicable when he got there, and it was despicable when he left. He didn't change it much. And yes, I think we can all agree to that. I think we can all agree on that. So yes, and he was there, and all those things that he was saying at the beginning of this interview about the condition and the food and everything. Don wasn't even home yet. He's saying that about Candace, but won't say that about Candace. He just turns around and says it's all Don. So it does seem that way. It does seem that way. But I do, think it's odd that he tries to say nothing happened between him and Candace, yet when he stayed with Allie before he moved over to Candace, there was a relationship. When he left Candace, there was a relationship. So out of all these people, and he said that the reason why Allie and Candace were fighting was over him. And we knew that. We heard that when we were down there in December doing our fact finding trip. We did hear that not all they were all fighting over this man, and he must have been just loving it up, because you got Allie fighting with Candace and Grandis and everything. Everybody liked him. Everybody wanted to be with him. He was like Pimp Daddy Jose on that mountain. Pimp Daddy Jose. That must have been a real, boost of confidence being there, as opposed to just being over at Allie's. A boost of confidence for that man. And he's trying to distance himself from that. And I have a problem with that. You're going to tell us the truth, tell us the whole truth. Don't discredit yourself, Jose. I'd like to know more. I really would. But I really do hope that Justice for All and ICU get the opportunity to interview him again. But I think they, hopefully they'll have some time to corroborate the statements that he's making. And if there is something that they can't corroborate, find out whether it's true or fiction, that they address those with him. I really do. I hope that they address those with him, because it seems to me that there are some things that are corroborated. A lot of stuff that he said that were corroborated, but there's a lot of stuff that is not, and doesn't cut the mustard. Doesn't cut the mustard. Yeah. And I think that's the problem I'm having, is I know that there had to have been some drugs and alcohol usage inside that home. It sounded to me like it was a party home. And that's the part I want him to acknowledge. I really want him to acknowledge that. And he's distancing himself from that. And he's doing all these convincing statements. And I would like to understand why. So now that Stephanie her internet went down on her, so we're going to go back over to the interview with Justice for All and just kind of, go through it and see what all is said with it and go from there.
Right away, it's to the drinking. Mm-hmm. And I remember a couple of times I would be downstairs, laying down about to pass out, and I hear them fighting upstairs. And
pass out, and it was corrected, even, I really do believe that people slip. And I think he was probably accurate. He was ready to pass out. He was tired. He was exhausted, either from drugs or alcohol. And that's just my opinion. I really believe that's the kind of house that this has been designed as, right? We all know what happened inside that house. We all know what went on inside that house. And he's trying to act like it did not go on in that house. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We are doing crowdfunding. For those folks that want to participate, we are crowdfunding for a trip that we are going to be taking. It's going to be an epic trip that I think everyone will enjoy. We are going at the end of April or beginning of May. So we're starting our crowdfunding now. So anybody that wants to contribute, please say April trip in the memo section if you do donate to our Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Thank you.
And it's not like a normal fight. It's a drunk fight between two drunk people.
Yeah, when you say pass out, you mean going to sleep, right? I just want to be clear.
Basically, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes,
but you just got to be really clear on here.
At the time that he returned, I had started a part-time job, to earn.
So I want you guys to pay attention to that. So the whole time that he was there, for the months and months and months that he claimed to have been staying with Candace, he was not working. So again, you got well-bodied adults. You've got Jose, you've got Candace, Grandis, and Summer in that house during the day while the boys are at work. And none of you guys were working. None of them were working. Because again, he just acknowledged right before Don came home, he got himself a what? Part-time job. Not even a full-time job. A part-time job. And you're telling me you guys couldn't get off your bum with having 3 adults in that house all day, every day, to clean that house up better than that, and you were acting like you did? No, we're not giving you a free pass here on Bullhorn Betty. Not doing it. Not doing it. That house should have been immaculate with 3 adult individuals inside that small home. throw out the garbage, put this other stuff away in its proper place, clean the house. You had months, 3 adults full time in that home, and that house was in that kind of condition months later. Totally unacceptable. Not buying the story.
A little extra money and things like that. So, you know, it would be like almost 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 maybe, and they would be hammered, like, and I mean hammered, but they didn't look like they were hammered.
And again, I'm sorry for stopping it so much, but remember, later down in this interview, he talks about how Candace on the YouTube is not the same Candace he knew. It sounds like it's the same Candace he knew because he's describing her to a T to the way she's acting right now. Am I wrong? Like, really? Am I wrong? Let's keep listening.
But they were drunk. We were talking Black Velvet and a fifth of it. And they will always have a 12-pack of Mountain Dew.
But he wasn't partaking in that. He was having a mental breakdown and a health crisis in his own life. And his whole entire world was falling apart. But he was staying out of it and staying in his room and not partaking. Doesn't sound right.
Under the table. And I clearly remember that because the minute the box opened a soda and Candace would crack it open, Summer would come running into the kitchen. Can I have soda? Can I have soda? You know, and I'm like, baby, you don't want juice or water? And she would be like, no, I want soda. And they would just give it to her. And I would tell them, you know, too much soda is not good for her. You know, she's too little to be drinking.
So he's telling this to Candace, right? But Candace is this great mother and it's all Don's fault.
Drinking that, you know? But you could only say so much before you realize that what you're saying is going through one ear and out of the other.
Right.
And
so,
you know,
when.
But Thug for life, was he a renter? Because he didn't get a job until just before Don came home. That means he was living there rent free. Did anybody catch that? So that's technically not a renter, right? He should be there. And it's probably why he was acting like he was cooking and cleaning and being a part to this household. So he looked beneficial since he was sucking off the tip of Candace for a place to live. Just saying. But I don't think he was a renter. I don't think he was a renter at all. He was her boyfriend and he was living there rent free. I mean, those are his own words. He just got done saying. And I'm sorry, but if you are staying in a home free of charge, it is absolutely your responsibility. And if you're going to sit there and call one parent out, you should be calling both parents out. I'm just saying. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm all about fair, fair blame. But he's not. He's throwing Don under the bus and acting like Candace is this wonderful person, but he's talking about Candace in such a negative light and doesn't even know it. But yet he's blaming everything on Don. It's bizarre to me. This is bizarre. I find it bizarre. Like, I would have wanted, if I was there, I would have wanted to say, you know, it seems to me that you're blaming Don for a lot. What about Candace's part in all this? Why wasn't the house clean when Candace was living there full time and had no other job but to keep that house clean? Why is it Don's responsibility to go to work every day and then come home and have to cook and clean when his wife has been there all day long and her only job is to be there to take care of the house and take care of the children? I would like to find out what his thought process on that was. And I have not, unless they did ask him that and I missed it. I didn't hear that come out yet.
When did things turn after Don came back, and can you tell us about that?
About a week after he returned, things started to really deteriorate with me being there.
Maybe because you were living in that home, you weren't cleaning, you were probably just laying in your room, staying out of everybody's way, just living there free. And another man is not trying to take care of another man. He obviously wasn't paying rent, and he obviously wasn't doing what he's saying he's doing. And now you got Don back, him in close quarters with his wife, him starting at this point, probably starting to see the eye looks and the, starting to feel the vibe. Because don't tell me the vibe doesn't exist. You can tell when you're in an environment, you can feel the vibe. I mean, that's why I like seeing people in person and interviewing them in person, because you get the vibe. They open up more to you because they get my vibe. You can't tell me that Don's in this house with these two and don't feel what's been probably going on there for months, that he's denying, Jose's denying it even happened. I'm on the outside here listening to this interview, and I'm getting the vibe that the man is holding back on the relationship that him and Candace have.
He kept accusing Candace of sleeping with me while he was gone and things like that. When I finally saw the video that he was talking with the guy Chris from TIR, he was telling them that, oh yeah, she had this guy in the house, and, he was gay or whatever. That's a bold-faced lie. I'm not gay. I'm nowhere near that.
Okay.
I am a straight man. I prefer women. That is my preference.
Right.
Period. And
that's a so you're saying where Candace and everyone said that you preferred men, that you actually are indeed straight.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay.
And I believe that they were telling him that to just ease tension so there wouldn't be like a severe conflict. But during the time that I was there helping them and stuff, they're realizing like, wow, this guy's here and he's renting from me. He's a good friend, helps my kids with homework. He cooks, he cleans.
A good friend. Now remember, she just met him when Allie took him in. So I don't understand the good friend, I've had good friends before. Sorry. But yes, getting to your question, yeah, I do believe that they told Don that so he'd feel comfortable with him being there. But now, after the fact, it still seems like, Jose's still covering for her. And I want to know why. What happened in that house that he still feels obligated to keep covering for Candace? What did he know that went on in that house that he condoned that could get him in trouble if he admitted to? Those are some questions I have, because this doesn't, some things just don't add up. It's very well, it could possibly be because he went out of his way for a convincing statement to explain that. Yeah. Probably. I believe so. I have to go back to her interview and see what I've heard about that. But I believe Allie. I'm sorry. When it comes to this, I believe her. And it's because, again, I've looked her in the eye and, I believe her. I believe her.
Like, who is this guy? And it's nothing special. Like, there's many of men like me who do things like that. This is what you're supposed to do. you know?
See, he's just posting himself up like he's this real man. Like he's trying to convince everybody that he's this good, wholesome man. And it's like, if you have to go out of your way to convince the public about how wonderful you are as a man, you know, I don't know. It's just too. So far we're into this 30 minutes and he's talked about how much better of a man that he is than Don and any other man. Am I getting this? Am I the only one feeling this way? Yeah, I believe Allie. I sure do. Yeah, exactly. Probably watching through the peephole. There's no doors in this house. I mean, think about it. If Allie could walk in, so could anybody else. It makes you wonder what in the world is going on in this home. No doors on this home, a stranger in this home. Clearly, there was a stepbrother, stepsister scenario that happened in this home. Clearly, there was a Candace and H. Well, I shouldn't say clearly. Allegedly, there was a Candace and H act that went on in this home. And now we have a Jose and Candace. So the thing that, he was the savory man that went into this home and just went in here out of the goodness of his heart to help this family, to help these children, to get this house cleaned up, and sitting here listening to him trying to convince the entire world how much better of a man he is than any other man is what is causing me problems. It's giving me heartburn listening to this. That's a no, right. It's giving me heartburn to listen to this. Oh, absolutely. That's why we've been talking about it for the last couple of days. There's a whole lot more to this story. There's a whole lot more to this story. Yes. Yes, it's in the interview. And the young children were watching through a peephole. It's pretty bad. Yeah. And I can tell you, if you gave her a better lifestyle than what she was accustomed to, I'm pretty sure she would have had Don hit the road. She wouldn't have allowed Don back in the home. But I think what had happened is something, I think Allie may have reached out to him and said, "Hey, I just caught them." Or, this is not just, this way, it's this way, or, vice versa, and what have you. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning. We're going to go over just a couple more things. Ronnie, do you want to come up or do you want to wait until tomorrow? It's up to you. I'm perfectly fine. We're just going to go over a few more minutes of this interview. We're only at 30 minutes of listening to Jose say he's the best man to a woman in the world, and there's no other man like him. And he's just this God that is the savior and the salvation of this home. All right, I'm paraphrasing really bad. But, that's me being very sarcastic with some of this stuff. I believe Jose. I don't want to beat him up too much. I just want, if you're going to come forward and you're going to speak, you got to speak truth to power. You got to speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth. There were horrible things that went on in this home. You dealt with it. You tried to overcome it. You couldn't stay there more than a few months because of it. It was horrible all around. Candace wasn't taking care of their kids. Don wasn't taking care of their kids. That is the truth. You having a mental break and you were partaking in a lot of the drugs and the alcohol that went on in that home. That would have been the truth. This, I don't know. I didn't know this happened. I never seen Candace like that. I don't know this woman on YouTube anymore. She's not the Candace I knew. Yet you're describing her as this big brawl. They would drink from daylight to sundown. And then by end of the night, they're both up there fighting and stuff like that. You're saying one thing on one hand and saying another thing on another hand that's contradicting the statements. And it's not ringing true. It's just not ringing true. It's just not. So, okay. We'll give you about 10 minutes. Ronnie's going to come up here and talk about Graciela Garcia. We had her on here. And we want to get some information and get Graciela. We haven't talked about Graciela Garcia in a little minute, and she's still a missing woman that's been missing for a very long time as well. So we want to give her a few minutes to go over that. And Ronnie's been working on these cases. She's starting to investigate other cases. So we want to show her love and support from this channel. So she'll be posting her YouTube channel on her on the if you can post, or Anissa, somebody post Ronnie's channel on here. So if anybody wants to go and subscribe to her page, they can. Yeah, I agree. But there was a lot of people, Alicia, there was a lot of people that were in this situation that, that saw this situation, including the church, including, the beautiful, sweet Robin Lane, that sat back and did absolutely nothing. So, I don't think anybody thought anything would happen to her. I don't think anybody really knew who Candace. I mean, they knew Candace and they knew Don and they knew their volatile relationship, but I don't think anybody really knew who they were. I don't think anybody knew to the extent of their criminal background. I don't think anybody knew to the extent of the abuse and the neglect that Candace perpetrated upon all of her children. Remember, she had another set of children prior to this. I also want to give Stephanie kudos for coming up here and talking. I'm sorry we had internet issues. You did an amazing job. We all want to give Stephanie a hand. She was really nervous when she came up, but it sounded like she was more comfortable as we started talking. And I tried to explain to her, once you get up here and you start talking, it's almost having a conversation with a friend. And it's really easy to do after your first time. So, I hope to have Stephanie back up on panel to discuss this particular, at least this particular interview. And hopefully we won't have so many internet issues, but we will have her back. Yeah. Thank you. She hasn't been found. That's all I know. I've got to get her daughter's interview up and running. It's like I've got so many interviews and stuff that I just don't even have the energy to do all the editing. I mean, that one video I showed is not even close to being edited, and I worked on that for hours. And I still seen some mistakes, like some duplicated information in there that I need to remove and cut and strip out of there. And I still have to put my transitions in. I still have to put my background music in. I still have to put a title page on, make it look all beautiful, and then I'll present it. But the next time I present it, it's going to be as a uploaded video. I'm not going to play it again because many people. Well, I might play it again depending on if we have a larger crowd in here once it's fully completed. Plus, we still got Billy Mansfield. We still have Ted Bundy. We still have Pee Wee Gaskins. We still have, and again, the interview with Ruth's children that I still have to edit. That's going to take me forever because that was a really, really long interview. But yes. Yeah. Yes. I love how that was put. Yes. An arm's length. Yeah, that is true. And that's how I kind of feel about it as well. That's how I kind of feel about it as well. Thank you, Anissa. So for those that would like to subscribe to Ronnie, she's been working on Graciela Garcia. She's been my go-to person for this as the, in-house expert on this case. So for those that would like to subscribe to her page, please do so. There is the link. I hope all of you guys do go over there and show her some Bullhorn Betty love and subscribe. Thank you, Moon Shadow. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go visit my mom after we get off here, which we're already past our 2 hours. It's like this stuff with Jose is just crazy. I mean, it's just really crazy. And it's just going over all this. There's a lot here. I mean, again, Justin kept him on the phone. Justin and ICU kept him on the phone for hours and kept having him come back. And it was really good. They did a great job. I'm very impressed with their tenacity to get to the bottom. Again, there's a lot of contradictions that I just would like clarification on. And I hope that we have an opportunity to get the clarification on these very glaring discrepancies in his story, and hope that we will be able to, you know, find out the truth. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, is getting to the bottom of the truth. So here we go. Control. Oops, no. I remember that's right. So here's for Ronnie. If she can get in, she wants to come in. Thank you, Anissa. We will be switching gears just a little bit to go to Graciela Garcia. We're waiting for Ronnie to kind of get ready and prepared. And we're going to ride with Graciela Garcia and just hear any more information about it. If you guys were here previously, we learned that there was a lot of she had her in-house hairdressing salon at her home. She was supposed to go take her son some food, some dinner, and never showed up. And in her stepson ended up her son's stepfather, her husband at the time, ended up showing up with his food and not her. So it was a little odd. So just keep going through here. But we will be getting back. Is Ronnie ready yet? Because I'm running out of time. I got to go meet my making morning. Okay. Yeah, because what I need to do is I need to get you on here, because I've got to start getting ready and heading out to go visit my mom. We have lunch today, and it's already 10:20. Holy crap. Today's going by fast, and I still got to stop by Starbucks and get myself a mint coffee. So, yes. So those that are here, please go and show Ronnie some love. Hello. Yes. And that's the good thing, is we all are, a lot of us here, even Justice for All, we are Team Summer. We come out here, we take a lot of heat to bring this case and to bring our opinion to you guys. We have our opinions about the case, after we've done our due diligence. And again, like I said, Justin was with us in Tennessee. He came out and visited with us. It was on the second trip, the January trip. And he got to see the mountain. Once we showed him around, he was like, yeah, there's no way this child was abducted off this mountain. And with Don and Candace staying with that she was abducted. Guys, if you went there, I mean, even Stenton Has the Soup went there. When you see the creek and the depth and there's just you get a very clear image of how it's almost impractical for anybody to be abducted off that mountain. Impractical. And it just doesn't ring true. And even when we try to convey that in video on Olivia's page, you still couldn't see the angles of the pitch of the roof. You just couldn't. So let me go over here and see if I can find her stuff. Let's just. While Ronnie's getting ready, I'm going to go over here and see if I can find that. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up while we wait for Ronnie. I'm going to pull this up and let you guys watch this.
Meet Connecting, quick and simple scheduling app.
The search for
Hold on. Let me get it pulled back. All right.
The search for summer. Where is she? Episode 4.
We spoke to the people closest to the wells, the people closest to the wells. I'm not going to say their names, and they gave us tremendous amount of insight, and it's a game changer.
In today's episode, we talk to the closest sources to the Wells family.
Authorities need to go to the home of Don Wells and Candace Bly, Candace Wells, and check that property. They need to check that property ASAP. Enough is enough. Get probable cause. Go onto that property now. I believe Summer's on that property. No doubt, based off talking to people as close as you can possibly be to that family. It's sick and disturbing of what they said. And it's in my head. I'm rattled by what I heard. They need to go on that property now. They need to search that property now, ASAP.
Call the police here on them when she threatened to blow your head off?
I went to work and I gave her till 11 o'clock, gave her mom gas money to bring my kids back to my mother or my grandmother's. They didn't. And said, all right, now we're going to play. You want to play games? I called Kingsport City Police Department.
Central Dispatch. The phone was Kingsport City Police Department. I have an issue at hand. I've been staying at a friend of mine's house for a little over a week now. The morning when she woke up, she was very confrontational about the whole situation. She basically threatened me.
Okay, so what are you needing from us?
I need someone to go up to her house to get my 2 children.
So guys, I'm just going to switch gears here. We got Ronnie on. I know you guys want to watch that. We're going to go back and start watching some of the work that we did on Summer Wells over the next couple days and bring light to, their case and what we found out. I think a lot of people forgot the work we did on the Summer Wells case and how hard we worked to find answers for Summer Wells. And, this is why we're very knowledgeable about the facts related to this case, because we went out there and did the work that we needed to do to find out those facts for the case. So we're just going to take a little detour right now, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to save the rest of this video and the other videos that we did for, our work that we did on Summer Wells. We're going to save that. We're going to work on that tomorrow. And we're going to just go back through everything. And we're going to start comparing what we know to what we're finding out later in the case, because all this stuff happened. Most of this stuff happened back in December for the fact finding. The protests and stuff that we did in front of DCS and TBI were the second trip. Did we do some other investigative work on the second trip? Of course we did. We went and did the Dudley interview on the second trip. We went to Don's work site on the second trip. And I got to get with Olivia and get the breakdown of that water hole and some of the commentary that H had said at the time when this stuff happened on Chris McDonough's interview. So I'm going to be getting all that stuff together. We're going to roll with that tomorrow. It's going to be a great time tomorrow. We have to start early tomorrow. So tomorrow you may have to watch after the fact, because I've got an 8:30 breakfast with the Christian Family Coalition that's going to be lasting until 11. And we want to make sure that, I'm present for that meeting and breakfast. So I do support, you guys know, I do support Christian Family Coalition. I support their work that they do. And I'm going to be supporting it with my presence tomorrow as well. So let me go ahead without further ado. Ronnie, sorry it took me so long to get to you. Thank you for waiting patiently backstage. Tell us some information. You've been working very hard. We've had you on this this channel before to talk about Graciela Garcia. Just inform us on what's going on. Give us some past information that you've already told us about, and tell us any other information that you haven't told us about.
Okay, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry it took me so long. I try and sleep as much as I can because these cats wake me up anywhere from midnight to 1 o'clock, and I can't get much sleep after that. So
That's okay. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
So what happened, just to recap, is Gracie got off of work, which her hair salon was in her home,
Mhm.
and her husband was there. So she was last seen with her husband. She was supposed to take her son dinner at his dad's house.
Mhm.
She and her husband, her ex-husband, shared custody of her son. And they were, he was going back and forth. So he was, at the time, he was staying with his dad.
Mhm.
And so, she had dinner plans to take him some dinner.
Right.
Well, the next thing you know, the boy is seeing the stepfather show up with dinner, and Gracie is not there. And the stepdad, Mr. Sanchez, I don't really, Cuauhtémoc,
Mhm.
I think is how you pronounce his name. He told the son, gosh, it's so hard to get my voice out first thing in the morning. My goodness.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
He told him that Gracie was at home asleep. And so he goes inside and checks his phone, because that's not like Gracie not to show up and fulfill her plans.
Right.
And the boy had missed calls and texts from his mother.
Wow.
And so he tried to return the calls and texts, and she didn't answer. And that's not like her whatsoever,
Right.
because she always had her phone on. And so he got a hold of his older sisters. So they all got together and went over to Gracie's house. Now, see, this is Gracie's property. This is not Sanchez's property.
Mhm.
This is her house. So they went over there and they looked around, looking for Gracie to check on her. And he says, I just recently found this out. He says she's asleep in the truck outside. Why would he say that when
Yeah.
she's not freaking outside?
Why would she be sleeping in the truck when there's a bed inside?
Right. It's so weird. So I don't know I don't know. There's things that the family is not telling me everything,
Right.
and that's okay. I understand that. But
Trying to find a
they
photo with them, with the two of them together. I know I have it in here, but I'm just having a hard time finding it. I've got her up on the screen right now, but there's a photo of her with the gentleman, this husband of hers, and I just can't seem to find it for some reason. But I'll keep looking, and you can keep
Okay.
talking. Sorry.
So, for some reason, the family decided to give her a couple of days, and then they reported her missing. So she went missing on, or she was last seen on 11/8/19,
Mm-hmm.
and then they reported her missing on 11/11/19.
Right.
Her phone was last pinged on 11/8/19 or 11/9/19 at 12:30 midnight. So, on the Washington Bridge, just as you start going over the bridge in Hermiston,
Mm-hmm.
which is over a river called the Columbia River. And I've seen in the Find Graciela Garcia Facebook group that her daughter has posted back when she went missing that she was unhappy. They both were unhappy in their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That she was scared. And I've talked to some people in Hermiston, and I won't say who, you know, for privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But this man is a very dangerous man, and he is let's put it
Yeah, there's certain things. So just for the audience, there are certain things that she can't really elaborate on with the danger aspect of this gentleman, just that he is, not the nicest person in the world. And we'll just leave it at that for Ronnie's protection.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And for yours, and
no, I don't care. Anybody can at this point.
Well, I care.
At this point, I go through so much. It doesn't just add another nugget to the crap that I deal with. I'm perfectly fine. I put my life in danger on just about every single one of the cases I cover.
Well, I care. So I I don't want anything to happen to you. But yeah, he's just a very bad man, and think along the lines of the bad people that come across the border.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that.
Right.
I'm not going to say the word. I'll just tell you
so
that.
they can use their own imagination as to the kind of gentleman that we're dealing with here. So, either way, so she was with this gentleman. She was married to him. They haven't been happy for a while, and then boom, she just disappears.
Yes.
And she hasn't been heard from since. None of her family,
Yes.
none of her friends. She just vanished. She was there 1 minute and gone the next.
Yes, and apparently, he passed two. Well, he didn't pass 2 polygraphs. They were inconclusive polygraphs.
Mm-hmm.
But he was cleared by the police department, and the family has said that he's friends with a couple of the detectives that are on this case. The police department has come out with a statement, back, over a year ago, saying that no, this is not the case. They are not friends with Sanchez. I don't know what truth there is to that.
If
I'm
I
not
can make
saying
any suggestion, this is the suggestion that I would be making, and it would be that if there are some inconsistencies with whether he's friends with the police or not. I hope the family is working on getting the state police involved. That's where it needs to go. When you can't trust the city police or the county police, you start working on getting the state police involved in the case to find out what truly happened. And it's a major campaign. I can tell you that, a major campaign to get state
Oh,
police involved.
okay. I will let them know.
And
I
we're
will talk
happy to
to
help
them.
in any way we can here with the Bullhorn Betty channel and, some of the allies that we do have. We're happy to get whatever, email campaign, phone campaign that can help facilitate,
Oh,
getting
oh,
state police
thank you.
involved in this case, at least to look at it.
Okay, thank you. I will give her your email and the one that I keep in touch with daily.
Yeah, tell her to put
Um,
in the subject line Graciela Garcia. So I know that
okay,
I need to focus on those emails, if they come in.
okay, all right. I will definitely let her know first thing.
Mhm.
Because they're so afraid that they're not going to find any answers, and I mean,
And it's been a really long
they've
time too.
yeah, and they've been let down, and this man has verbally told them that he has paid the Hermiston PD off.
Yeah. Time to get some
So
affidavits together. Time to start approaching the state police. It's time to start seeing if Oregon State Police will start getting involved in this matter at this point. And, sometimes these things take a really long time, but with tenacity and, staying focused and staying, having the mission and staying focused on that mission sometimes is what prevails. And they've been fighting
yeah,
this whole time. It's like, they're spinning their wheels. Maybe it's time to try something new.
yeah, I think so. I just I feel for them so much. It just breaks my heart. It's like Grace. I don't know why, but this woman has attached herself to me or something. She's with me from the moment I wake up. Reminding me I'm still here. I still need to be found. I
Mhm.
need your help.
Yeah, that's the way
It's
it was with the Gabby Petito case for me, and and then the subsequent Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case. Those are still very near and dear to my heart, and I'm
yeah,
still just at awe, with the fact that nobody's been arrested yet in Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner's case. I'm hoping that we get some breaking news really soon. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We fought hard for them, just like you're fighting very hard for Graciela. And I think, her family sees that. So the ones that you're keeping in contact with, I'm glad you are, because sometimes that
yeah,
really does help them mentally as well. I keep in contact, not regularly, but I still keep in contact with Crystal Turner's side of the family, and very pleased that we've been able to still have open communication with them. And it's every day's hard, and it's sad because people, believe it or not, can be mean to them. Like
yeah,
me, it's like they're victims. They lost a loved one, and you got people being nasty and mean to them. And I just can't, for the life of me, understand how that is okay in our society.
yeah, and I care a lot about these people, and um, they're Hispanic family, and they feel that they're getting the shaft because they're Hispanic. You know, um, uh, I don't know that to be the case. I don't know because here I'm hearing that he's paid off the PD,
Right.
so that the fact doctor.
And it makes you wonder where he's getting all this
or-
money. But it comes back to, you know, this is a dangerous
Right.
person that you find at least heard has been dangerous, and you know, it's sad. She's missing, and if he didn't do it, maybe he knows who did. But it sounds more like an inside job, because it sounds like he was covering something up, you know, with him going and dropping
Right.
food off at the stepson's house, you know, people calling and him saying that she's sleeping in a truck. Why would she be sleeping in a truck? Karen, have a great day. Everybody have a happy St. Patty's Days for those that need to jump off. So anybody with any information, I've got to run to Ronnie. We're going to have to pick this up another day, but
Yes.
But anybody with any information, please, reach out to the Hermiston Police Department, 541-567-5519. The family is still looking for their loved one at this time. And, you know, the circumstances around her disappearance don't make sense. So we just want to bring awareness to Graciela Garcia. Ronnie's been doing an incredible amount of work. For those that have not liked, shared, or subscribed to Ronnie's page, please do so today.
I appreciate it, guys. And I appreciate it, Betty, for letting me up. And everybody have a good day, and have a good day with your mom.
Oh,
Tell her
yes.
I said
Thank you.
hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody have a good one.
All right. Love you, girl. God bless.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. So there's Graciela Garcia. You know, we just, you know, we want to bring attention. And this is for other folks that are out there in the community that want to bring awareness to the cases that they have going on. You know, we don't all cover the same cases. Some of us, you know, cover, of course, the ones that are in the spotlight, you know, a lot more cover, but there's also a lot of cases that aren't in the spotlight that don't get covered. And if you are covering one of those cases and you want to bring it to the panel and you want to bring light to the case, you know, I'm more than welcome to have you up, have you explain the case, you know, show pictures, and help you with your missing person case or a murder case, you know. So for those that are out there, other creators, if you guys want to collaborate, you want to bring it to this channel, just tell the story, bring awareness to your case, please do so. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to help any way I can. Oh, White Rabbit, you're late. I'm so sorry, but I'm signing off now. I gotta go eat lunch with my mom. So we will be back here tomorrow. We're going to go over the Summer Wells case more. I know for the last few days we've been talking about the Jose interview. In my opinion, I think we all in here have our own opinions of that interview. Again, we want to give credit to Justice for All. Justin is an amazing guy. Had an opportunity to meet him out in Tennessee. I'm very proud that he was able to get this interview with Jose and bring it to the world. ICU, I know she works her tail end off, and I know she had a hand in helping get this interview in place, and just want to congratulate both of them on the interview. Tomorrow, we're going to be going back to some of our older videos of our team actually covering the Summer Wells case and the work that we did as a team on trying to find information and the truth. So please come and join us tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is going to start early, folks. I have no choice. I've got to be at a breakfast at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll continue. So I'll probably be starting around 6 or 6:30 tomorrow, and then cutting off right at 8 so I can get out the door. So, or depending on how I'm feeling, I may not start it until I get back in the afternoon. I'm not quite sure yet. So we're going to try to shoot for 6 o'clock in the morning. If you do not see me before 8 a.m., be assured I will be live as soon as I get back here from my breakfast with some people from the Christian Family Coalition. So I love each and every one of you guys. God bless. Go make it a great Thursday. We are over the hump. We're sliding into the weekend. I want you guys to have an amazing rest of your week and have an amazing weekend. The weekend schedule's a little, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work yet. I'm pretty sure on Sunday I will not be on at all. Saturday, I might, I'm not sure how I'm going to do things on Saturday. So I'll be thinking about those, but we will discuss it tomorrow. So I keep you guys all in the loop on when and where we will be and what we're going to be doing. And again, we are scheduling a very powerful trip at the end of April, beginning of May. If you guys do want to contribute to that trip, please make sure you say April trip. All proceeds for that will be going to that. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed in our April trip. You will not be disappointed in the April trip. I can tell you it does not have to do with summer, but it has to do with another major case going on that I know each and every one of you guys are watching. So again, if you guys want to contribute funds to that trip, we've already got the room and board taken care of. We are working on right now crowdfunding for our tickets and our car rental. So anyways, God bless each and every one of you. We will chat soon.